Good morning and welcome to Year 4 Maths with me, Miss Dowley. How are you all doing? I'm just going to minimise me. Okay, so let's start by writing the short date and underlining, and then writing the learning objective. I know what a fraction is and can find fractions of shapes and amounts, and underlining. So let's start off with the following two questions. What is a fraction? And can you give examples of this? So pause this whilst you have a try. So what did you think a fraction was and what were your examples? So a fraction is a number that is a part of a whole number. And examples we may know will be a half, a quarter or a third. And they're the words and here are the symbols. We can find half an amount. So here we've got some tennis balls and I've circled half of those tennis balls. And here, who doesn't want a pizza? And here you can see there is the whole pizza and this is half of the pizza. So let's start by finding fractions of amounts. Finding half is the same as dividing by 2. And we are really good at dividing by 2 because we have been practicing that. So, can you find half of the amounts below? Pause whilst you have a try. So how did you do? So here are all the cars. There were 20 of them and half of 20 is 10. Here are our cats. There were 8 of them in total. Half of 8 is 4. Our oranges, there were 16 in total. Half of 16 is 8. And here are our toothbrushes, and there were 24 of those. They were quite tricky to count. And half of 24 is 12. So to find a half, we divide between 2. To find a quarter, we divide or share between 4. And here you can see on my fraction, the number 4, that tells us to share between 4. So a quarter of 8 equals. So let's have a think. You have a think for a moment, and then let's try this together. So we've got 8 apples and I'm going to share them. So I'm just going to draw blobs into my sharing circles. So I've got 1. I might need to be a bit bigger than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we can see that we've shared between the 4 circles and each one has got 2 in. So a quarter of 8 equals 2. Can you find a quarter of the objects below? Pause whilst you have a try. So how did you get on? So we had 8 hats and a quarter of 8, because we've shared between 4, is 2. We had 12 water bottles and we've shared them between 4, so a quarter of 12 is 3. We had 16 bananas and we shared them between 4, so a quarter of 16 is 4. And we had 12 sunflowers and we shared them between 4, so a quarter of 12 equals 3. So let's just have a go at this one here. To find a third of an amount, we divide or share between 3. And if we look carefully at the bottom of the fraction, we can see the number 3. Okay, so that tells us to share between 3. So a third of 6 equals. So I'm going to share our 6 apples. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we had 6 apples. We've shared them between our 3 plates and each plate has got 2. So a third of 6 is 2. And remember, the groups must be equal. So can you find a third of the amounts below? Pause whilst you have a try. How did you do? So we had 6 boots and we shared between 3. So a third of 6 is 2. We had 12 sunflowers and we shared between 3. So a third of 12 is 4. We had 12 water bottles and we shared between 3. So a third of 12 is 4. And we had 24 toothbrushes and we shared between 3. So a third of 24 equals 8. So have a try at the questions below. Write a fraction sentence for each picture. The first one has been done for you. So here we've written half of 6 equals 3. So have a look at these, see what they've shared them into, how many there are, what groupings they've shared them into, and have a try. So for more resources on fractions, try the Oak Academy, and the website is here, and that will take you to the fractions page, or try BBC Bite Size for lessons on fractions too. And again, this will take you to one of their fractions pages. Okay, thank you.